What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So let me tell you a little story, okay? So I bought the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max on launch day. I'm like, you know what? I have to buy them anyway, so I might as well buy them now. I did all those comparisons and everything. I ended up returning the 11 Pro Max because I didn't need it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just use the 11 Pro. It's not that big of a deal. And I've owned the 11 Pro and the 11 since then, and I've been using the 11 Pro as my main device since launch day, since I picked it up. I switched to the iPhone 10 for like a couple of days and I switched back to the 11 Pro. And recently I've been like, you know what, I don't know if I want to pick up the 11 Pro Max again because I want to use it as a main phone, or if I'm going to keep my 11 Pro, I don't know. But then I remembered that the iPhone 11 was there that I had the whole entire time, and I'm like, why don't I just switch to that? And recently, I'll be completely honest, I think I'm starting to like my iPhone 11 more than I like my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and there's a couple reasons as to why. And the most important one would have to be the size. You know, looking back, I mean, I picked up the iPhone XR. I've owned every single iPhone, but when I used my iPhone XR, I didn't really think that size was a big deal, you know? I was like, okay, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. The XS Max seemed too big at me at the time. But now I want that bigger phone, and having the iPhone 11 there with its 6.1 inch screen, that is literally like the sweet spot. That is right in between an iPhone 11 Pro and an iPhone 11 Pro Max. And I think that's one of the biggest assets for the iPhone 11. And even the leaks and everything that we're hearing about the 2020 iPhones, Apple is apparently making 4 iPhones for the release of the September event. Apparently there's going to be 5 or 6 iPhones overall, but the September event's going to have 4. And that 6.1 inch design that the iPhone 11 currently has, that one is going to be, suited for the Pro model. So the Pro model is not going to be that 5.8 inch screen. It's going to be that 6.1 inch because people apparently like that screen more than they like that 5.8 inch model. And I think that's 100% accurate. I think that 6.1 inch screen is perfect. I think that's great. If it had a little bit less bezel on it, I think that'd be alright. I think the iPhone 11 Pro screen size is good for a lot of people, but having that bigger additional size screen really does make a little bit of a different impact. And I think a lot of people have issues, including me. I used to have issues with the IPS panel over OLED, but honestly now I don't really care that much. It's not that big of a deal. I don't even think about it like that when I'm using my phone. I just use it as a phone. I think, coming from somebody who literally made so many videos bashing the screen, I quickly got over it. It's really not that big of a deal. So that size is definitely one of the biggest deals in my opinion. Also, the battery life is a bit better on the iPhone 11 over the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's still over the iPhone 11 Pro. It's still not as good as the 11 Pro Max, but it's not that big of a deal. When using both, I've been using the 11 Pro as my main phone. I've been using the iPhone 11 very close to my main phone. It's like almost my second phone. And when I'm using both, dude, including the standby time, it seems so much better than my iPhone 11. It's not, I wouldn't say it's so much better. I wouldn't say it's a crazy amount, but it's definitely noticeable. It's in a noticeable amount, which is cool. I like that a lot, and I attribute that a lot to the screen. The screen, because it is IPS and because it's a lower resolution panel, it doesn't have as many pixels to push on the screen, which if you even look at the 11 Pro, you might think, oh, it's a smaller display, it has less pixels to push and all that. That's not necessarily the case. The iPhone 11 Pro's design and the screen is a higher resolution display over the iPhone 11's. So there are more pixels to push at the end of the day on that, which is pretty cool. I mean, I like having a high resolution panel. There's more things there, but I don't know, guys. I think I'd rather have a bigger, lower resolution panel than a smaller, high resolution panel. As long as the resolutions and screens still look good, I think that's all that really matters. And both the panels look good, but the iPhone 11 does have that bigger panel. Now, the funny thing is that because the iPhone 11, a lot of people, had that assumption that it's slower because it's the cheaper phone and the Pro has that Pro naming, it has to be faster. When I did my speed test and when I did everything with it, you guys already know I tested literally everything about the iPhone 11s. The speed is a little bit better on the iPhone 11 than on the iPhone 11 Pro, which is really crazy to say. Again, just like the battery, I wouldn't say it's an insane amount, but it's still faster at the end of the day. For a lot of the speed tests that I did, there were some cases where the 11 Pro was faster, but there were still sometimes the 11 was faster, which is insane. And I don't really like saying that too much because speed isn't the end all be all for me. Whenever I'm picking up a phone, I'm not like, oh, I want it to be the fastest phone in the world. I just want a phone that works and is good. That's all I really care about. But with the iPhone 11, I do have to kind of keep that in mind because even if I don't care about that, I know some people might care about it. And with the iPhone 11, all those speed tests that I did and everything, it showed that the 11 Pro was just a little bit slower. But the crazy thing is that you're spending more money on the 11 Pro, which it really doesn't make too much sense. I mean, the 11 Pro costs $999, the iPhone 11 costs $699. That's a $300 difference, which, that's another humongous plus for picking up an iPhone 11. That's the reason why I like it even more. By you getting an iPhone 11 or by me keeping my iPhone 11 using it or whatever, I don't really feel like I'm scared to use it with my 11 Pro. Sometimes I'll definitely be honest, it doesn't really do that. I don't really feel the effect for myself anymore. But a couple years ago when I picked up an iPhone 10, I was just scared to use it because it's like $1,000 phone, and if I drop it, then it's over with. For me now, I have so many phones that it doesn't really matter. But for you, it might be a little different. Not everyone can get, phones all the time. They have to, keep them precious and make sure the screens don't break and everything. And if I picked up an iPhone 11 Pro, I would just honestly feel kind of bad using it. But the 11, I don't really feel that bad using it because it's not that expensive to begin with. I mean, it's still $699, it's still a lot of money, but that $300 difference could make a lot of people feel better about using an iPhone 11 than using 11 Pro. And really the only advantage that I can see for the iPhone 11 Pro would probably be the screen, which I've already kind of said it's not that big of a deal, but you still might like it. I like the screen on it, but whatever. But also that extra camera lens that you're getting, that telephoto lens. The iPhone 11 Pro has that, where the iPhone 11 doesn't, and that's really where that extra $300 is going. There's really nothing too crazy on the 11 Pro that you don't already have on the iPhone 11, So ultimately, I think that's why I like my iPhone 11 more than my iPhone 11 Pro. I think the biggest one is the size for me, but also that price tag. There's just not a lot of phones out there where the cheaper model is pretty much a better phone than the more expensive model in a lot of cases, which is pretty funny. The Note 10, Note 10 Plus, that's not really the case. OnePlus 7, OnePlus 7 Pro, 7T, 7T Pro, it's not really the case. But overall, those are my opinions on it. That's what I think. You guys can let me know in the comment section below why you might think the 11 is better than the 11 Pro, or even why the 11 Pro is better than the 11, So let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. But that is pretty much it. If you have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.